Here's a quote from the documents, attachment 9 specifically. One such powerful individual that Epstein forced then minor Jane Doe number 3 to have sexual relations with was former Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, a close friend of Epstein's and well-known criminal defense attorney. Epstein required Jane Doe number 3 to have sexual relations with Dershowitz on numerous occasions while she was a minor, not only in Florida, but also on private planes in New York, New Mexico, and the US Virgin Islands. Another quote, Dershowitz came, quote, pretty often to Epstein's Florida mansion and got massages while he was there. Not one massage, which he's previously, it's been revealed, has gotten massages. Dershowitz was, quote, present alone at the house of Epstein without his family in the presence of young girls. And again, all of this is sworn testimony. That's not proof. It certainly doesn't look good for Dershowitz. It goes a couple steps further than what we've previously heard. Again, that does not mean that is 100% take it to the bank, lock him up, but it doesn't look great. So he's the one, at least as of what I have found in the documents, he's the one that comes out of it looking kind of the worst, other than obviously Epstein.
Yeah, he's also had a pretty weird take on it that I've seen. I've seen a couple of clips getting shared on Twitter and stuff from his appearances where he engages in one of the wildest cases of whataboutism that I've seen yet, because he's bringing up all the Epstein stuff and talking about it cryptically and whatnot, but also saying it's like he doesn't want to hear anything from people who aren't also condemning all the rapes that Hamas has committed, and that he like pivots this to Hamas and Israel and whatnot. And he's like, if you're not mad at what Hamas is doing with all that, then I don't want to hear it. And it's like, is it so hard to believe that like people can think all of that is bad? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like because I'm coming after you for impropriety means that I'm pro Hamas, because I'm not. I think they shouldn't be raping too. You know what I mean? That's all. I know I'm going out on a limb there by saying that, but I'm pretty fervently anti-rape and sexual assault, regardless of the source. So just because I think you're a piece of work for what's in here doesn't mean that, I'm condoning what's happening in Israel or Gaza or whatever. It's just a weird thing to bring up. It makes it feel like he's grasping at straws to me.
Trey, it's getting complicated and muddled. Choose one bad group. Okay.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to hold multiple in my head. And then also, again, this is not proof. This is not a court of law or whatever. And I hope it's clear that I was being sarcastic. I totally agree with you about that. Like the absolutely horrendous, almost unimaginable acts that Hamas was described as doing on October 7th. Like rape is obviously very front and center in that. And what you are described as having done, again, not proof, but described as having done, is rape of a minor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think that if we're going to condemn Hamas, I think we should be consistent and say that generally raping children is really bad. Again, you don't choose one and then give a pass to the others just because you raped less or you didn't also torture or murder anyone. Again, not proof. We're not making any claim like that. Despite the fact that we have literally, I don't think ever in history gotten any credit for nuance or caveats or anything. We always provide them because we hold ourselves to higher ethical standards than the vast majority of mainstream media journalists. But anyway, it doesn't look good for Dershowitz is all I'll say. Any final comments about anything from the Epstein docs?
No, not really. I think we've about covered. I mean, it's like I said, I have been somewhat disappointed in it, but also was kind of expecting it to go that way. So I'm not overly surprised. I guess the other thing I'll say on Epstein is like my hot take on the Epstein thing, is been a meme on the internet ever since it happened. Epstein didn't kill himself. Put at the end of things have nothing to do with that. Everybody talking about he didn't kill himself. I always thought that it was kind of irrelevant, sort of, whether he did or not, because it shouldn't have been allowed to happen either way. You know what I mean? Like the fact, that dude needed to be under suicide watch, right? And should have, and ostensibly was. So even if it doesn't matter like what happened there, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. So that's the only other hot take I have related to Epstein while we're talking about him.
I agree there. That's again, like these docs I think largely were not that interesting. There have been all these claims made about like address books in his like safe and tapes that had been made. I guess we'll just never. I mean, maybe none of that stuff ever existed, but if it did, it doesn't seem like we're ever going to get access to any of that stuff. It's all this secondhand court stuff, but I guess that's the way it goes. Great. For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.